What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brew City Beats Podcast. I'm your host, Kel. I'm with my co-host, CJ.
What it do, y'all?
And we got another special one for y'all.
All right, here we have my guy Ambrose here. Ambrose is really a life coach. There's so many things I could talk about, everything that Ambrose does. He calls himself Coach Ambrose. We're going to get into a lot of things that Ambrose does for the community and just for people as a whole. But let's get off to it, Kel. You know how we do.
So we appreciate you coming in with us, chopping it up with us. So usually when we start, we have two segments, BCB's threes and who's on Knox. I'm going to tell you about who's on Knox. I'm going to give you three situations. Within those scenarios, you're going to tell me who's on Knox or what's on Knox. First situation.
Aux, A-U-X, you're saying.
Like, who
plays the music?
You got it.
Yeah. Sorry, we young. We still used to the aux cord, Now it's card play, but for y'all, cassette tapes.
Number one, who's on Knox when you need to wind down and get into the right mental headspace?
Wind down. Good question. So I've been on lo-fi hip-hop. So I just say Google my Google Play, lo-fi hip-hop. I don't follow anybody in particular, but I want to focus or relax, lo-fi hip-hop.
Okay.
Playlist, whatever playlist comes up.
Who's on Knox when you want to just get a good lift in?
Yeah, man, I feel bad saying I'm on the playlist, but I don't like the playlist. So let me think. The Apple playlist ain't that good for workouts, honest. I need to make my own. Today I worked out, did heavy lift to Joyner Lucas, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas. What song?
One we got with Eminem is hard. I like that one a lot. Any ones you got videos too, really.
Mm-hmm.
As you play YouTube music on the TV down there, and let it play.
I feel that. And last one, who's on Knox when no one is around? Meaning, like, what's something nobody would expect you to be listening to?
You know what's funny? Except you're coming out Fond du Lac. I gotta play particular music, man. So I've been heavy on 70s lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like 70s soul, not R&B, but like 70s soul. Yeah, that's typically a Sunday driving, but definitely I come down Fond du Lac, I gotta play something that
Respect.
you. Yeah.
Respect.
Okay, so our next segment is called BCB's Threes, Brew City Beats Threes.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to ask you just any three things regarding music, primarily rap, because we're a primarily rap podcast. So I'm not trying to date you or anything, but you're older than us. When most of our other guests have been like in our age range, like same age or like a year or two younger or older. So who are your top three like old school rappers? Like we can do the cutoff at like 90s.
So like this is a good question. Like lyricist, favorite rapper,
Whatever,
however you just gauge it.
Tops is Jay-Z first of all.
Okay.
Not say favorite, but it was my top list. Then Pusha T.
Okay.
It's definitely always up there. Then man, I used to like underground rap, man, that nobody knew. That was like the popular thing for me in college. Was like if you didn't know who I knew, it was good. So you probably never heard of Atmosphere, Slug from Atmosphere. I'll just throw them out there because something for y'all to look up later on.
Definitely,
Minnesota rappers.
Kel, you gotta answer for this question.
I do. Go ahead.
Oh no, I want to hear your answer first.
Jay,
of course.
I don't know if you know this about me. I like 50.
Oh, yeah, I like 50 too. I've been listening to a lot of 50 recently, bro. Like,
hold on. Let's go back. All right, so last week or 2 weeks ago, he had another one. It's like, who's the best three rappers turn actors?
You found the answer now. That's why you
look, because we was talking about it. The first day we had who we say?
Me?
No, like all of us collectively. Who we say?
I think all y'all forgot about Will Smith.
Yeah, we didn't say Will Smith.
But like T.I., Ice Cube. I started naming all the ice. I said T.I., Ice Cube, Ice T.
LL Cool J.
Yep.
When you think about it, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Method Man. Who was Queen Latifah? Who else we was talking about? 50. Most Def.
Dude, even Pop Smoke acted. Pop Smoke was in that movie. But I'm not gonna lie, if Pop Smoke was still living, 50 probably would have slid him into Power somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
I could see it.
Pop Smoke probably would have been Kane in Power Book 2.
Yeah.
Like something like not BMF. Don't do him like that. He ain't 2 Chainz now. You know the acting in BMF is I don't know. That's a stage play.
But no, 50, Jay-Z. No, I won't say him. Go ahead.
This is how I know, like, you my brother for real, because 50 and Jay are already up there for me.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, I used to be a big, like, Pac over Biggie guy, but I was just listening to a lot of Biggie recently, and this might be kind of wild to say, but to me, Biggie clears Pac. Like, it's just, I think Pac is an artist, but if you're talking about, like, pure rap, hip-hop, it's Biggie. For me, at least. I see your face. I don't think you like that answer.
Who you got?
I grew up on the East Coast, so
Yeah.
it's jaded. So when Biggie came out, when Ray Die came out, my uncle Morris had a Lincoln. And he had it on a cassette. So all he played was.
See, I told you, cassette tapes. I told you.
So that was how that was. But I moved to back to Milwaukee when I was going into 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So my first CD I ever bought was All Eyes on Me to Double Dutch.
Okay.
So I kind of went like you did, Biggie first, then Pac. But now that I'm older, bars, lyrics, who I listen to regularly is Biggie.
I'm happy,
but Pac is always going to be there.
I'm happy you said that because that gives me my third one. You know, I love Cole. I'm gonna have to go with Nas, just based on that connection. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Nas, but for me, it's like I don't. I do, but I don't. It's like I don't know. Like for example, like we was talking about rap beef last episode. Like absolutely, technically, in the public eye, Nas won. Like that's the song. But then if you talk about Super Ugly, that song was so bad. Jay-Z's mom had to beg him to take it off. Yeah, like trust me, I got Super Ugly on the file. Like that song that might be one of the most disrespectful diss songs ever. If you gonna keep it a buck. So it's just like I just feel like too, maybe it's because of the kids I went to high school with. I feel like they really hyped Nas and certain Kendrick stuff too much. Cause sometimes suburban kids they think they part of the culture, but they're not, but they are. You know what I mean? Like they were like, do you understand what I'm like?
Contrary to everybody else.
I'm like
to Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
yeah.
Don't get me started. But I'm like they tried to tell me like Illmatic cleared like everything in Jay-Z's discography. I'm like, okay, let's like Illmatic is definitely it's up there, but everything.
You got something to say?
Yeah, come on, everything.
Classic album.
But everything in Jay-Z's whole discography though, like we gonna put one album against a whole.
The only thing closer is probably Reasonable Doubt.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. If it's the
whole, do more than Illmatic, honestly, but Illmatic,
yeah.
Exactly.
I like Nas, but I feel like it's one of those things. It's like Illmatic is there. It's Illmatic, but then like if you have to go like career body of work, Jay-Z versus Nas.
Sure. Yeah. For sure.
Even recently, he just ran off like 7 albums in the last couple of years.
Jay-Z been retired though. He retired. You know what I'm saying? If Jay-Z was still,
that's a good point.
His fault.
Yeah. Who's the producer he's with?
Hit Boy. Him and Hit Boy have been killing it.
But I mean, we gonna see when Jay-Z dropped that album. You know, Jay-Z got an album soon, but y'all not gonna disrespect Hov right now. That's what we not gonna do.
God, but you're right. Somehow what Hov did or he does is he stays in the allure without having the most record sale.
Yeah, like
I'm not sure how he does it, honestly, because 50 said that today. Actually, I listened to a podcast with
I just heard the same thing.
I was like, dang, 50 made a good point.
He's up there with everybody, and then got the numbers to actually show.
Yeah, which
I feel like
it's the bars.
I feel like with rap, I think we get kind of distracted when what's the word I'm looking for? We try to. I think as a whole community, we need to decide what's the criteria to be a better rapper than somebody? Because some people use the Grammys argument. Personally, I feel like you can't use Grammys in rap because it took so long for rap to actually be accepted by the Grammys. And then the fact that like I stopped watching the Grammys. I think you already know what I'm going to say. It was 2014 when we had Good Kid, Mad City. Nothing Was the Same. Holy Grail. Yeezus, Eminem had Marshall Mathers 2,
and Macklemore
won.
Yeah,
where he go?
That's what I'm saying. So I just feel like with rap, I think we need to look at impacts on the culture, how you influence the culture, what you've done for the culture versus sales and awards. Because I feel like numbers can be fluctuated. Like with stats, you can look at any type of number and boost it. Like it matters, but it's like, for example, like let's say you're a quarterback, your team is up 20-0 going into the third quarter, and you've only thrown the ball like 10 times. You got like 80 yards. And you start airing it out. And at the end of the stat sheet, you got 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. If you look at the box score, you didn't watch the game. Oh, he killed it. But in reality, your team already won the game, and you just started chugging it down the field. Like, numbers can be fluctuating.
I think music is too subjective to have like a certain criteria to be like, this is a better rapper. Because regardless if it's like, oh, boom, 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 if I like his music better than him, I'm gonna be like, I like his music better than him. So I just feel like music is too subjective to just have like a specific criteria on it. Like,
your best and your favorite can be a lot different.
Yeah.
And about where you grew up. Because if you grew up certain time period, certain places in the country, it changes too. Like, we have the East Coast to sound like. We haven't seen anybody from the West Coast, which it's hard because I ain't grown up in the West Coast, but I can think about people, but I'm East Coast dominant most of the times.
I got another question for you because we brought this up, I think maybe on like our first episode. So, it's always the classic East Coast, West Coast debate. I brought in like a third player to this. Personally, I'm taking the Dirty South over the East or the West. Because if you look at the influence on the current rap today, like the South is killing it. And really the South is killing rap right now too. Obviously you got the Midwest, you got even Milwaukee, we doing our thing, Chicago, Detroit, but rap is really ran by the South right now. Like that's where the sound is coming from and everything. So I just wanted to hear your take on
that's what I thought about. I was thinking about when Cash Money got popular. Like that was here in Milwaukee. That's all we listened to. My brother, my cousin, it was Hot Boys. I like Turk personally before he got whatever, but it was. Then you had, you had them. Then you had Master P. Don't get enough credit. I don't go back and listen to anything that he had.
Yeah, he a legend though. He a legend.
It's a movement.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
I know you mentioned Jordan Lucas. Is there any other like more current artists or rappers you listen to?
Man, it's funny. I heard this when I was like turning 30. So I'm beyond that now. Yeah. And they said after 30, you get stuck in a decade of music. And I was like, never. So I have to actually like search out music now. And I get stuck in these algorithms. So listen to that's new right now, at least new to me. Philly rapper Kur, Kur, got his playlist with Meek Mills or some affiliation. Guy named Norman, where my phone?
Norman.
This is like bar crazy. Where am I? I got my phone somewhere. Norman, let me pull it up. It's also people I don't know people talk about music
Norman San, like
SANN. Yeah, exactly.
This guy right here.
Yeah, it's a crazy rap, legit and intelligent. But again, if I bring it up, like you heard this, it's like if it ain't popular now, you can't really talk about it. When I was in high school, going to college, it was more if it was underground and you would have real conversations, trade CD. Like I had to listen a long time, but now it's just kind of like playlists that was popular. Yeah. We play that.
Yeah, so it's kind of it was like that for us in high school too, because we came up at the point where it was like LimeWire, Spinrilla, SoundCloud, my mixtapes, and that to me that was like for us growing up, that was just the best thing. Like some of the best music I have is the unreleased music. Like I have files and stuff that.
Oh, so you keep files for real?
Oh yeah. 100%. You got files. My files are better than my actual library.
Okay.
Like, and it's just like I just feel like now. With SoundCloud and everything.
Where my files go. I was getting out of school and that was just becoming a thing. So I had like a little flash drive.
Oh, he got
you know how
files.
many viruses I used to put on my phones just trying to get like Spinrilla or my mixtapes, trying to actually download it to my phone. Yeah. Man, but it's just I feel like now everybody uses SoundCloud or the internet just to get clout for it. They're not actually trying to promote art. Like even the generation of SoundCloud rappers like our generation put out there, if you look at it, none of them are really still around besides like Lil Uzi and Lil Yachty. And I'm not even a big Uzi fan anymore. Like that last album he had was a little.
I feel you.
All them little sound effects. Like, what are you doing, bro?
I feel you.
You think you what's his face? Ozzy Osbourne, bro? Come on now. I'm not trying to hear that.
You're a rock star.
Thing for y'all.
SoundCloud, I go back and listen to old things on SoundCloud, but now I'll go to files. Like for example, there's this new Future leak that just came out the other day, and like that a video for it. I did my research and found the file in like 10 minutes. So I got it like
leaked.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I got the file. So like SoundCloud, I'll go back and listen to stuff that still isn't on like Apple Music or Spotify that I have from like 2015, 2013. But for the most part, if it's like new, unreleased, or leaked music, I just put it in the files. I text him and like 3 of our other friends. I'm like, hey, I just got this. One of my friends, they're like, bro, how you get this already? I'm like, don't worry about it.
that used to be fun, like finding music. I can't lie. I'm lazy now. I don't spend time finding music. So
yeah,
I can't complain with it.
I think today though, it's like he was bringing up social media. Like if you go on TikTok, you're gonna hear the same little snippet every time you scroll up, the same 5, 6, 7 second. Then just get it.
Let's go. I don't know if I like that song. I heard it so much. Nah, I do the same thing every time I work out. Yeah,
that's the thing with the internet that has killed it for me too. Is there's certain songs that I like, but once they hit TikTok or anything, like it's done.
Overplayed.
Like, I remember, bro, when Hotline Bling came out, he released that on SoundCloud. Drake released it on SoundCloud before it came out on anything else. I was showing everybody at football practice, like, oh, this kind of cool, bro. A month later, it's the biggest song in the world. You can't go. I'm like, I don't even like this song no more, because it's just like you know me. If something is just too in my face, or somebody's like, oh, you gotta listen to it, I don't want to. Like, I didn't even listen to Boss Man D-Lo until like a week ago.
For real,
bro? Because Mr. Podscrape, like, bro, I know he cold, but like, come on now, like everybody, oh, Boss Man. I'm like, can y'all really even name 3 Boss Man D-Lo songs? No, he cold, bro. Come on, man. Like, it's just, I don't like things getting thrown out there. Like, I'd rather go find it myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'll scroll, for example, like I like a lot of like I said, down south, like I'm big Dolph, Key Glock. I'll go on like Key Glock's and Apple Music, they'll have like the appears on like tab where it'll show you like features. And I'll go and look at stuff that he's featured on and then find new artists from stuff he's featured on and then just keep going down a rabbit hole. And then like, oh, like I like this. For example, there's this dude called Big Moochie Grape. Like he run with like Key Glock and Dolph or RIP Dolph. But I found Big Moochie and then stuff like that. And I just keep going down a rabbit hole. Like I really, me, I look for new music every day.
I feel that.
How do you do that? How much time you spend looking for music?
How much time do I spend looking for music?
Like in music, like actually listen to it or looking for it?
Pre-podcast when it wasn't like a part of the gig. Like were you
always?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Like that's we literally like some of the main things we talk about: music, sports, girls. And it's like I know that sounds like so basic, but it's like we're on the same like flow where it's like we like the same stuff and we have the same ideals. Like, I'm just big on music. I listen to music when I'm doing anything.
Everything.
Like playing a video game. If I'm not playing with my friends, if I'm just playing somebody random online or something, I got the speaker going in the background. I tuning out. I'm in the shower. Music, gym.
Playlist, or you listen to the whole album?
Well, I like to listen to whole albums, and I didn't start doing that up until like 2014, because like both y'all know Drake is my favorite rapper. Like 2014,
really? favorite, hands down.
Like, yeah, his Future is my number 2, but it's like the gap between like Drake and Future for me is like it's like that. But Nothing Was the Same was the first like full album I listened to, because that was when I had my first job. I was able to go out and buy like actual, like I didn't have to go ask my mom, hey, can you buy me this on iTunes? Like I bought. So Nothing Was the Same was the first like full album I listened to. And after that, whenever new music comes out, especially if it's like one of my favorite rappers, I sit and I listen to it. Like I'll throw it on a TV, like instead of a speaker. Like you got Apple Music on the TV. I'll put it on the TV. Turn the lights on. How the little LEDs on. Just sit there and chill, vibe out to the music. But yeah, I'm a big whole album guy, because I feel like if you listen to the whole album, that's when you can actually get the hidden gems per se. Like I think him and I talk about this all the time. Being Drake fans, everybody thinks the Drake songs are like God's Plan and like Tootsie Slide. I hate those songs. Like I don't like songs like that. Okay. Like I call them Jay-Z type of songs where it's like no hook, just rapping about life, like middle of the ocean, views, stuff like that. And I feel like you're not gonna find that unless you listen to the full album. If you just look at what's on TikTok or what's playing on the radio, all you're gonna hear is the dance music or the TikTok music. So.
What I hear is there's a disconnect because back when I had to go to the store and actually buy the album and listen to the album and not actually have heard any of the songs, just know that they got an album out and then you hear it and it's like, I'm not really feeling this.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to sit and eat it.
Yeah.
Because you bought it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good eat, yo.
Yeah, you had to sit on it. But now you're just gonna go, it's so instantaneous. You're like, I don't like that, it's trash, whatever. And it's instant, what do you call it?
Gratification.
Not even gratification, like judgment. Like, oh, that's trash. And they don't listen to it anymore. Where I had to listen to the album like over and over, like it's growing on me. I love this shit.
Yeah. That's the same way we are. It's like,
yeah.
Because we didn't even have access to like actual like streaming for us. We were like what, seniors in high school, where it was like the actual like Apple Music stuff like that. Like I was still buying stuff, gambling. I remember, man, I was like 12. I bought this Lil Twist song because I thought Lil Twist was cool because he was part of Young Money. That thing is still on my library because I bought it. Lil Twist and Busta Rhymes. I'm like, man, this is trash. Like, but like. Because I remember with iTunes, even with iTunes, I get what you're saying though. Because like you said, when you have to just go buy it and hope it was decent. With iTunes, at least we got that little snippet. But sometimes you listen to that snippet, and that snippet they put the best part of the song on there. You get the song, it's like this is not the snippet.
That's TikTok.
Yeah,
that's TikTok.
Yeah. So y'all had CDs, but not cassettes.
Yeah, no, the last 2 CDs I owned, and I actually gave them to one of my friends before he left for college because his car still had a CD player. I had Rodeo by Travis Scott, and I kept.
For some reason.
I was about to say, word,
I ain't no freaky ass nigga. Hey, but
eclectic taste.
With Travis, because there's this song, I don't know if y'all know it, but it's called Maria, I'm Drunk, and that's one of my favorite Travis Scott songs. And for the longest time, that was taken off of everything, streaming, even iTunes. You couldn't buy it.
Really?
Now, I don't even remember why. I don't know if it was a copyright thing or something.
Sample or something.
Yeah, but it was only on the CD, and I was like the only one of our friends who had the CD. So like, I kept that, and then I had Views by Drake as a CD, also because I got in trouble in high school. I used to get in trouble all the time, and they'd be like, "You can still drive your car, but no phone." I'm like, "Dang, I'm supposed to listen to music." Run to Target, grab the CD of what I'm listening to, pop it in. Girls get in the car, they're like, "Oh, could I have aux?" I'm like, "You can go to track 6."
Do y'all collect vinyls?
I do. I got turntables when I was 25. I said, if I don't get these turntables now, I can't ever be a DJ. That was a long time ago. So not a DJ, but I got turntables, some 1200 MK2s, Techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I get vinyls just to have them. For the long haul, I used to actually play them on the weekends, but I haven't done that in a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have some because my grandfather, he passed away when I was about like 1 year old, and he left me like at least like 100 records, and I have classic ones. Like I got Elvis Presley, the Golden Album, like the actual, like when it came out. I've got 3 or 4 Ray Charles albums, Sam Cooke, Sinatra.
That's crazy.
And then like I remember I started collecting vinyls of like current music, bro. It doesn't sound the same. Like the vinyls that my grandpa had from like 1964, no scratch. I put in a vinyl from 2016. It's skipping every other track. Like the quality is just and I was wondering too if it's what I was using as was like the record player. Like I had one of those where it was like 2-in-1, like a Bluetooth speaker, but I've been looking. I want like actual turntables because I have so many records. I just have them like in a bin right now, but I want to set them up like this. You know what I'm saying? And have them like styled out. Yeah, because when I was in college, I'm not gonna lie, that was an easy little play. Like, oh, come over, like I'm gonna throw on some Ray Charles. Oh, how you got that? You got Sam Cooke going in the background. That's game for y'all out there. That's a free one. I'm charging for the next one. But yeah, before we dip into you a little bit, I just want to ask you, like, I know we talked about new music. Have you ever listened to any of the quote unquote new releases right now? Because we like to talk about new releases.
Yeah, do my best not to that whole decade thing and try my best to find new releases, new music, and listen to it. Listen to the whole album, give it a chance. But I do, but it feels hard. It does feel similar. It sounds like it sounds similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying my best not to get stuck sounding too old. But I do my best to like try new stuff.
Okay.
I feel that.
'Cause I just wanted to ask you real quick, what you think about? I got like 3 of them I want to ask you about. First of all, did you listen to the Big Sean album?
I was gonna say, bro. What you laughing at?
Because
You not a fan?
No, I think it was decent.
him,
Okay.
him and I
it was
used to have this debate in high school all the time. Like we used to have like podcast debates, or even had a podcast. Like we'd be texting each other, and it'd just be like Big Sean or Chance, and I was always Chance over Big Sean.
Okay.
He would tell me Big Sean, and if you look at how today's going, I clearly lost that. But yeah, what do you?
Chance got divorced, so he might be coming back.
Yeah, no, but
he been throwing out a few things.
Bro,
like,
I'm not gonna lie, that last album, it ruined it for me.
was it that bad?
That I couldn't even I haven't been able to tap into the other stuff because I was expecting after the Coloring Book 3, I was expecting something like that, and then he had that album. Like I know that's to me. I love my wife. Like that's all that was. To me, bro. Like
that's funny.
But like what do you think about that Big Sean album?
I think it was decent. I ain't gonna lie, I ran it back at least 4 or 5 times.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not-
Okay.
It's not something in my rotation though. I didn't even know he had dropped though. I ain't gonna lie. Until I seen on TikTok somebody had like a little rating, then I went back and listened to it. But
Yeah, you know me, I be on Twitter following the little hot new hip hop thing,
Mhm.
and as soon as I see like a list of stuff, the singles and everything, I add it. I think I can describe it. I think it was good. Like Big Sean clearly has talent.
Mhm.
It's just not my cup of tea.
I feel
Was
that.
that
Like,
a finished album? I thought somebody released it early and it like made him rush.
It
up
was
and
finished, I
release
feel
it.
No, that's ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky got leaked, and he was supposed to release like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then he released one of the songs that got leaked. But ASAP Rocky, I used to be a big ASAP Rocky guy, but I feel like ASAP Rocky, he might as well just be a dad at this point.
That's crazy.
Well, it's not, bro. Come on, like if we're gonna keep it real, like
I
ASAP
feel
Rocky from like 2012 to even like
Yeah.
I'll give him 2018. He had it for real, but now it's just like I don't know.
That
Like,
long of a span?
bro, like if you go, what was that?
Got a couple singles out.
What was that album? I forgot, but the one that had fucking problems. Long Live ASAP.
Yeah.
He had Long Live ASAP. Then he had the other one that had LSD on it and all them other songs. A song with Schoolboy Q.
I'm talking about till 2018 though.
Yeah, because
That-
then he had
that's
just the hold on. I got it in my library. You try to challenge me right now.
No, I ain't trying to charge you. I'm just
I'm gonna show you. No, because I promise you, it was like the most recent one that he had. ASAP Forever. That was in 2018. I don't know if you listened to that.
I listened to it. I'm cool.
You didn't, but what? So, but look, I said 2012. So we got Long Live ASAP 2013.
Mm-hmm.
At Long Last ASAP 2015, and then ASAP. No, actually, it was ASAP Forever. It's Testing. My bad. ASAP Forever is a single off that. You didn't like Testing?
I'm cool.
That's foul, bro.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like because I just feel like
You see the
ASAP really
videos though? That was
like.
a big thing too growing up.
Yeah.
Videos and the music went hand in hand.
Oh yeah, no. I feel like now there's only certain artists that actually try to make an actual music video. You know what I mean? Like I feel like now everybody just wants to be at an exotic location with women shaking their butts, throwing money in the air. Like
He has crazy visuals every time he releases.
Yeah,
I
like-
can give that to Ace.
like I think even like the closest person to making like music videos like Michael Jackson in our day, Chris Brown. Chris Brown's music videos always had like an actual story to them. Like you remember that song Fine China?
Mm-hmm.
He had a literal like he was like talking to like an Asian girl. I assume she was of Chinese descent. But he had her in the video and he was telling her he was gonna treat her like some fine china, but like her family was like a part of the triad. And like they were like, you know what the triad is, right? They were like
the gang.
yeah, they were like chasing him and he was like, oh, I'm gonna treat you like fine China. And he was fighting these triad dudes or even
Dancing at the same time.
yeah, or even
Is that why you like Jordan Lucas?
Crazy videos. That's probably
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
'Cause
Yeah,
I made that little yeah.
great correlation.
so would you say you like rap that's more the way I describe it? It might be a terrible description what I'm gonna say, but like, do you like spoken word rap? Is that Like,
Oh yeah. I'm about
Okay.
bars. I'm bars.
Okay.
Before I
Yeah.
forget though, you know that he actually does the video first
Really?
and then does the rap. He does the visual concept and then works backwards.
Okay.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it sounds good, right? So I think being younger before going out, you in the dorm room just listen to music with your guy friends. I have a girl in my dorm room to way later. I got an apartment.
I ain't say
feel
all the
that.
time, but
I feel that.
every once in a while.
You
you know?
trying to impress your homies, but I was trying to rap.
You ain't playing no Sam Cooke, bro?
No, man. The coach I played with Sade. That was to go to sleep.
I'm gonna cook me for having games. Come on,
No, I'm
now.
jealous. No, for me, I'm definitely rap. Like you said
Mhm.
earlier, your favorite rapper to me is that lyricist, and you got your rappers.
Mhm.
That's a little bit different, but for me, lyrics always. It's always gonna be lyrics first.
Okay.
All right. One more question before we segue into you. 100 gigs, Kale. What'd you think about it?
The music or like just
The whole the whole idea behind it.
I love
Everything that's
I love it.
with
Just-
bias aside, because we
Yeah, no
yeah.
bias
I'm
into
just saying.
this.
I just
Yeah.
gotta let everybody know.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Is there a
some
video with it as well?
It's
well, it's
good.
it's like his
It's Drake.
It's-
by the way.
it-
I heard the songs.
Yeah,
Is there
so-
also a visual?
yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's not visuals per se for the songs that he released, but the visuals are
It's like a mini
him-
documentary.
yeah. It's like him making some of the quote unquote classic albums, like
Yeah.
Take
Like behind
Care.
the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes,
like
like in
each
this,
era.
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, and it's just like, to me, it's just like, I think some people say it's oversaturation, but I think it's feeding your fans. If you know you have a large fan base, because I remember there was like, what was that from? It was at one point where Drake didn't drop music for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and me and you were like, bro, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you have
Really 3 years?
yeah,
The
like
pandemic?
No.
not the pandemic, but it was like he might have like hopped on a single or something. You know, it's Drake, but I mean like an actual like
Oh,
his
I was
own.
going to say because I don't remember a day.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about like from Scorpion to Certified Lover Boy. That was like 3 years. where-
2018.
That's
Yeah,
funny
no.
perspective because from non-fans, because I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not shitting on
I
it.
could tell, dog. I could tell when I met you. I said this is a Kendrick guy.
I'm not even a Kendrick guy. I'm a bars. I'm
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah,
If you got
yeah.
bars, I know Drake got bars. The thing that pissed me off about Drake is he don't always drop bars. He
really can.
be
Yeah.
singing, and I'm like, all right, fam. I'll listen to an album. I'm like, dude, it's too much singing. Come on. And I love
to me,
Fonte. Fonte is like top 5 to me, but he sing too fucking much.
I feel like with the singing, that's what like I feel like it's like the versatility. Like obviously I want straight bars, but I play music depending on the mood. Like one of
Yeah.
our questions sometimes is what you playing if a girl getting in the car. Like I could put on "Come and See Me" by Drake and Party Next Door.
You
and-
can't do that for every artist.
yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying. You know, so it's just.
Bad,
But I do
like,
get what
it's
you're
bad
saying
list.
though with the singing, because it's sometimes where he's singing, I'm like, all right, bro, I wanted you to rap, but it's just like
yeah.
that's part of the hook, you know. Like
Yeah.
you can't have everybody who will give you the hook and then the best verse on the song. So it's like,
The irony is that Drake got his style from Fonte, and he actually attributes it to Fonte.
Wow.
I
As far
feel
as
like
the sing-
too.
the singing-
I
the
think some
singing.
of
See that?
Drake's.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah. They give each other props early on in the career. Yeah.
I think some of Drake's. What's the word I'm looking for? Like diction and delivery. I think it comes from like Rakim too. I don't know if Drake's ever
Mhm.
said it, but if you just listen to
His
like,
tone.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
hear everything he
His
says,
vocal
no matter
tone.
what accent he uses. Yeah, he's excellent at that.
But going back to the 100 gigs, I'm fascinated with like seeing how music is made. So like just seeing the behind the scenes of everything. Like, you know, Over My Dead Body is my favorite song.
Mhm.
Just seeing the lady who sings it, I don't know her name. I want to pay respect, but I don't know her name.
I don't
Just,
know it
just
either.
yeah, just him giving her how to sing it, what to say, and then she going in there and do it, and then the finished product gets the song. I just love seeing that. Not even with Drake, but just everybody.
Yeah.
Just
I
seeing them
agree-
go
I
into the
agree with
booth, how they just
Every
that's
time there's
fascinating.
like a new music documentary, I try to watch. Like I used to watch Behind the Music all the time. Y'all
Mhm.
remember Behind the Music
Yeah,
on
yeah.
VH1? I used to watch that all the time. But
It's
now I feel
fascinating.
like a lot of these documentaries, like you remember the Lil Baby documentary that came out on Amazon? Like,
No, I ain't watch it.
yeah, it was,
Yeah,
bro.
I ain't
It
watch
really wasn't. It was everything I already knew about Lil Baby. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get like a behind the music type of thing. Literally, it was. Lil Baby used to trap in Atlanta. Young Thug found him and turned him into a rapper.
We knew that
The
already.
end.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
where's the backstory for it? But yeah, actually seeing how the music is made, and then what do you think about the actual music?
100 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Circadian Rhythm, my favorite song.
like because you know we don't like the big like don't get me wrong like No Face, it's up. That's
It's
the
straight.
club
Yeah,
song
it's cool,
for
it's
real,
cool, it's
right?
cool.
But like circadian rhythm, that's the language part too.
Yeah.
And the language, I don't know if you remember that song. It's from Nothing Was the Same.
Are you talking my language?
That's one of my favorite Drake songs of all time.
Yeah.
And it's just like because it's just more like it's just chill. Like I like, don't get me wrong, I like turn music. I listen to trap rap all the time, but I like to ride with the windows down, listen to chills, have some music that make you think for real. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. But we can get away from the music.
I'm gonna go back in your catalog, but was there a real conversation around the diss and who actually won?
That was actually on the
was that?
last episode.
I'm gonna go back.
That was on the last episode. And
were you here for that, Tom?
No, this is my
So-
first time.
so
This is
basically-
my first time meeting him.
That'd be good. Okay.
so basically, I'll just give you a quick synopsis. I'll tell you that Kendrick won, but it's like, did he really win? Like I'll say he won because he beat Drake at his own game. Like it's like, for example, Drake out-rapped Meek, but then he dropped back to back, and he got everybody in the
The
club,
club song,
back
the
to
hit
back.
song.
But like, if you look at the actual music, and to me, what you define as dissonant rap, Kendrick pre-recorded his stuff, which I think in a rap beef is like you can pre-record some stuff, but to have it pre-recorded and then you're not responding to what it got, because what basically we were saying is like if me and you are talking trash back and forth, and he like, I'm like, you ain't got no car. And he like, you ain't got no hoes. And like, I'm like, I got your hoe. Like, you know, you go back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like to me, Kendrick would say something and Drake would be like, nah, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna say this about you. Kendrick wouldn't answer that at all. And just to me, that's not what I vision as a rap beef. I vision a rap beef. I say this about you
In real time, basically.
Yep. And you respond back to me and say, no, that's not true. But I know something about you. Like it's just like Kendrick didn't address anything that Drake said to me. But
Family Matters? Wasn't that the epitome of
well, no, Family Matters was Drake, but
what's the one that
Meet the
I'm sorry,
Grams?
what was-
Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams.
Meet
was
the
the
Grams,
response
yeah.
to-
but Meet the Grams was pre-recorded because
What do you mean pre-recorded? How's that work?
because he made
He had
like,
it- he had
if
it
you
ready.
listen to like
Really?
if you listen to Nothing Like Us, he's like, how many I gotta stop? 1, 2. Like he's saying, I made all these songs about you. That's why when Drake was like, drop. Them 2 weeks that Kendrick wasn't saying nothing, he was recording music to get ready. Drake was like, I heard it. I'm finna go hop in the stew right now. Kendrick is like, because Kendrick is low-key one of my friends. He's like, he is sicko. Like that man is just sitting there like, I'm pinning this. I'm gonna say this about you. But Meet the Grams too. Like he spent 2 minutes rapping about somebody that don't exist in The Daughter. So like I kind of just throw that whole song out because it's like he's kind of take the Pusha T angle at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, everything that Kendrick said is everything that's been said on the internet before. It was nothing new.
Okay.
Like it was just like, and Not Like Us is definitely like that's a song. Like it's an anthem. Like everybody be playing it, but it's like to me, it's like, is that really a good diss record? Like, it's a club song, but it's like if you compare Not Like Us to Family Matters, straight bars and what he's saying. Also, Drake was going against 20 people. So like, you know what I'm saying? And he addressed every single person that said something about him. So, and I saw a lot of people, they were like, oh, what if Drake didn't respond to them? He just responded to Kendrick. The internet would have been like, you didn't say nothing to ASAP. You didn't say nothing to this person, that person.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just one of them things where,
If you do, damn if you don't.
yeah, because I said it when it happened, he was going to lose off rip. Because to me, there's more Drake haters than Kendrick fans, if that makes sense. Like there's more people who were like, no matter what, Drake, even before Drake.
I've not heard that before. That's
no,
crazy.
I think so because
hear you.
I mean, if you think about it though, like I'm not one of them people where I'd be like, oh, Kendrick is trash. Woo, woo. It's just not my cup of tea. Like for example, Good Kid, Mad City, I love it. Like I think,
that's one of the greatest albums.
yeah,
It's flawless. It's
yeah,
flawless.
good.
It's
But
pretty
then
flawless.
to
Damn?
me,
You like Damn?
I like
I
Damn.
love
but
Damn,
I
too.
do not like To Pimp a Butterfly. Like I like some.
Talk about girl. I think that's
That's the spoken. That's the spoken word rap he was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's gonna grow
I know
you
exactly what
as
you're
you
talking
get
about.
I like
girl.
to me it's
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know because I love certain spoken word. Like I listen to Joyner Lucas sometimes. Like it's just to me with Kendrick, and I know it's like that LA sound, but he starts to sounding like an alien and stuff. Like I don't want to hear that, man. Like you know the or even like that one song where what's it called? I'm like, bro, what is you doing? Like I'm like, And then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I ran it back like twice. I liked like 2 or 3 songs from it. The rest of it, I deleted from my library.
Yeah, I got like 3 songs
Delete it?
downloaded from
Oh
that.
yeah.
You bought it, then deleted it?
Well, Apple Music. So
Okay.
I paid my little $15 a month for
Gotcha.
Apple Music. But
What's the song with Blast? Pop the pen away, I'm gonna depend away. You know what I'm talking about? I hope I'm not too late.
I
Deserve
like
my
N95
Yeah, I like that song too.
and Savior.
Okay.
And that was really like I like Baby Keem. And I feel like
Okay.
Baby Keem is lyrical, but it's just to me, to me, if I want quote unquote spoken word rap or woke rap, I'll go to J. Cole. Like I'm a big J.
Really?
Cole over Kendrick guy because I feel like J. Cole has more versatility than Kendrick. Like I feel like
I think J. Cole would have actually got at Kendrick if he did it. If this is a battle, I think he would lyrically have. I think he would have got him.
That surprised me, man.
it's
He's
Well,
my
just,
favorite out of all 3 of them, Jake.
I love
I've seen him
Cole.
perform twice in person.
I
so
love
know
Cole.
I know why he pulled out.
Why? Why did he pull out?
He didn't want to go there.
he don't
knew
have
where
the
they were
hate
going.
in his
Yeah,
heart
yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
I,
Like,
I think the whole pre-recorded thing is a part of it because he must have known. I got shit in the chamber.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't warn him, so they must have knew. You're right.
But
Yeah.
if he sat down and went bar for bar,
Because even I was just listening in the gym the other day. I was listening to Might Delete Later. Man, Hunting
Cam.
Rabbits, the
Yeah.
Ready 24 with Cam,
The only
That's a
thing,
Crocodile
workout song.
Tears.
the only thing with that,
Yeah.
I just hate that he had to remove the song from
Bro,
that.
7
That's the
Minute
only
Drill
thing.
was actually so I was hurt. Like,
It's gone now?
oh,
He
it's
removed the
gone.
song
It's
from the
gone.
whole
Like,
project. He
They
removed
said
the
it
song.
might come back, but I don't
see.
think that's his decision. That's like the label's decision.
Mhm.
But like to me, I'm not gonna lie. When he pulled out and then he removed the song, I couldn't listen to him for like 2 weeks.
If you buy it, you can download it and it's yours forever.
It's not that you can't even buy it no more.
but if you had it,
Yeah, if you had it at first, you could.
somebody has it.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
has
yeah,
it.
for
And
sure,
you can
for
probably
sure,
catch
for
it on SoundCloud or you. But I mean, the fact that
It's
like-
not easy to.
like I just feel like if I'm a dish you, like even though we're brothers, like this is my brother right here, right? If we get into a big argument and then the next day I'm gonna come out in front of 50,000 people, hey man, never mind. Like I just like you know what I
Hey.
mean? Like
That would have made. He did that at Dreamville Fest, right? I went to Dreamville Fest last year, 2023. If he would have did that, I would have got mad. if he would have came on stage and was like,
yeah, that makes sense.
because yeah, all I'm saying is it's just like everyone says rap is a sport. It definitely is a sport, and to me, J. Cole is a competitor. But for J. Cole to be the competitor that I thought he was, and if you listen to his bars, he always talk about like, I'm the one. Like I'll take any one of these niggas. And it's time for you to tussle.
yeah,
You back out. And the thing is, it was like 7 Minute Drill. It was a good song, but it wasn't even like a diss for real. It was like a warning shot.
yeah, it
Like
wasn't
it
nothing
was.
too serious.
It was like the equivalent to Drake dropping Charged Up. Like it was
Yeah.
just like, come on, bro. You know you little bro. Like you don't want this. And then Kendrick didn't even say nothing. He was like, never mind. Like that was. I don't
Feel
know. That hurt me when he did. I promise you, I couldn't listen to him for like 2 weeks. I just ran it back up again. Like I was listening to, like I said, Might Delete Later. I'm like, okay, yeah, me and J. Cole
That's
cool
his last
again.
project, right? Since
Yeah, and he's still supposed to drop the Fall Off, but I think after all the beef happened and everything, that's gonna be more delayed.
yeah.
Fall Off is allegedly his last album, but rappers never really retire.
He ain't stopping.
Well, switching gears a little bit, CJ mentioned in the beginning some stuff that you do. Can you just tell us everything you do? Just a little bit of background.
So in general, I'm a coach, health and wellness. So background in different modalities, personal training when I got out of college, picked up nutrition before doing some group training, and a little bit of business coaching towards the end of running my business full time. But the main thing, I think my big shift when I went to go work at a nonprofit, I learned how to do breathing meditation, which led me more into mindfulness, social emotional learning. So I just try to pick up different tools to be a well-rounded health coach.
Okay.
So I would say a deep health coach, if I could say something.
So when you started, I know you started with personal fitness and everything. Did you always in mind want to be just a straight up life coach, like you said, deep wellness coach, or did it start off as personal training and as you got older and as you realized what you wanted to do, it just snowballed and now you are where you are?
That's funny. So I haven't heard life coach in some years, and I think I appreciate it because that means you think highly of me. So I have a coach.
You know how we rock
I
Ambrose.
appreciate it. I have a coach, Bernie, who wrote an article said, article was stop calling yourself a life coach and do more good shit. Because there was a phase in the coaching where life coaching became kind of like you didn't want to be called a life coach.
Yeah.
It was like
Just like them little self-help seminars where you
it's
spend like bands.
what part of life?
can do
it.
I like all that stuff, which is wild. Every morning I play something like that. But the idea was to pick up these skills. So for me, personal training was simple. I played football. I got bigger, faster, stronger by eating well and working out. And I knew the kids that were back home in Milwaukee didn't know how to do that because no one taught me how to do that. So being a personal trainer was actually be a better football coach. And the idea was, I could become a strength conditioning coach. Let me get this first certification. I tell people all the time, man, in 2006, right before the recession hit, the goal was not to have my own business. Like that was the last idea, actually. It was getting gainful employment, but along the way, picking up skills. So what's happening now, I could never, ever have thought about that 18 years ago. It was not the game plan.
So since like our podcast name is Brew City Beats, it's a double entendre as in beats as in music and beats as in the heartbeat of the city. So if you just want to let us know what you're doing to help the city or keep the heartbeat of the city alive, because I see you on Instagram every time. It's something else. This man is always working, man. This, that. If you just want to let us know about some of that stuff you're doing.
I appreciate that, man. I think it's I don't want to sound like it's like all altruistic. It's selfish. Like I like doing good because it makes me better. As I said, the more that I coach other people, I have to have my skills sharp. So it's all stemmed from wanting to work with young Black boys. So everything I do is really that's the end goal. Because I moved here, as I said earlier, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in 1996, 97. And it was horrible here. I hated Milwaukee. And I was coming back here every year to see my grandmother, but only for the summer. But moving here was like, I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
So between 13 and 17, not wanting to be here, then going for college and coming back, see my little brother, my little cousin, I was like, all right, I got to do something at least to help them do better, which was get out of high school and move. So my idea was never to come back to Milwaukee. Then I started traveling a bit more, playing football, meeting other kids. And I was like, it's not that bad here. I just didn't understand what Milwaukee had to offer. So I grew up down the street, 20th and Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
I used to walk up Fond du Lac used to be called Capitol Court, to go to
Yeah.
work at Playmaker. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, my dad used to work
Is that like the
there.
little mall?
Yeah,
Playmaker at Capitol Court?
yeah. That's where that's
this
the
is-
same place where it says like Milwaukee's biggest mall.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
that-
Is that what it
is that
is?
the same one?
No,
Like on the corner?
Not down Fond du Lac, up Fond du Lac.
Okay.
Oh no,
I
I
don't know
think my
something
dad
about
didn't work that, bro. My dad
That's
tell you he
the
been.
Milwaukee Mall.
Milwaukee
Yeah,
Mall.
my dad been everywhere. He'll tell you, but yeah, no, I
So
definitely
it's like,
heard about Capitol Court.
So I'm trying to always give back a little bit based upon where I am. So the idea for me is I learned that people that are a little bit ahead of me can teach me a lot, as opposed to the person that's way over here that I'm never going to see. Yeah, I can watch you and read a book, but people right here in the community that knows a little bit more than I know. So kids is a big thing for me. Like tonight, I coach mental performance coaching over at Above and Beyond the Playground Athletics. So that's on Tuesday nights. Then Thursday nights, I'm in a research project called Men Moving Forward, working with Black men that have prostate cancer.
Okay.
That's been about a 4-year study. So it's a lifestyle intervention program to see the effects of exercise, nutrition, and then stress management on men after cancer diagnosis. And then outside of that, man, it's really just helping people level up. So as a deep health coach, you have 6 domains of your wellness. Your physical is something that people always come to me for from personal training. But I learned that that's not the only thing that people need, right? People have mental, which is a big thing. So probably since 2019, right before the pandemic, that really popped off the mental health conversations. So I was already teaching mindfulness, breathwork, and meditation probably for 6 years prior to the pandemic, but it was not something that people actually asked for. People actually thought it was kind of weird, to be honest. Like this guy's
Really?
talking about, oh yeah, man, it's so funny. Breathwork, like even personal training. Personal training was not cool in 2006. People were like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You want to go back to school? I almost went back to, I was going to be a firefighter. I took the police test. I took the LSAT to go back to law school, and the ASVAB to go to the military. I was going to do all that stuff before personal training.
Yeah.
It was not cool. So anyways, mainly for me, it's helping people manage their aspirations by making sure they have a reflection in the feedback system. So physical health, mental health, emotional health, environmental health is a big thing that I'm learning more about. For example, why I didn't like it here because it was violent. So my environment was violent where I lived. Didn't really know how to process that. And, it could be always down to like how you go to sleep. Like, is your house cold? Do you have, the right blankets? But it can be kind of expansive. Then you have your spiritual health. I feel like you have a sense of purpose. I think people see that in me a lot. And honestly, something that I thought about growing up, right? I just happened to stumble into work that is meaningful. So that's my business, my Speedboat Fitness, and my day job is more cancer focused. So now I'm over at Knox, Wisconsin, working with men's health, focus on cancer prevention, education, and screenings.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was really like powerful what you said about how when you were here, you wanted to get out and never come back. And I know a lot of people in our age range who are like, man, as soon as I get out, or I know people who left, and they're like, I'm never coming back. And what I want people to understand is when you have people like the people that are in this room who are trying to better the city and have the resources to better the city, if we all just leave, who's going to help the city? It starts like within, like, shout out Big Sean, one man can change the world.
You feel me?
So it takes a village, like literally. And I think it was cool too when you said about breath work. I think it was funny you brought up firefighting. One thing during firefighting is they literally teach you how to control your breathing. Because it's like when you have your SCBA on the pack, if you just it's called skip breathing. If you just breathe, like especially when you're really exerted, if you breathe really hard, you're going to run through your pack like that. And your pack is like essentially like your life in there. Like it's air in a bottle. So when you do skip breathing, like you literally like hold it and then you breathe. Like hold, and it's literally controlling your breathing. And it's also what I realized too. I was always good at like controlling my breathing anyway, but once I actually learned how to skip breathe, it's, to me at least, it was actually keeping you calm. Like, whereas, because you're in there, it's loud, it's hot and everything. It's I got a burn on my knee to show y'all it's hot. But like, you're just in there. And at least for me, skip breathing, like you said, it's like that mental wellness. It's like, okay, like it's almost like, all right, I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to assess my situation, let it out, and then just keep going. And then, yeah, so I think that was really cool. You brought
It's
it up.
cool to hear that. It's tactical, but I haven't heard that before. Skip breathing.
Skip, because it's like, for example, like my bad to throw out some little EMT knowledge for like the average person, not labored breathing, it's like 14 to 18 respirations per minute, like that. But if you skip it, you're literally like controlling your breathing. So if I was skip breathing, y'all I'd talk about, let it back out, and then if you do that, you conserve your air, but then it's also enough for it's like in short spurts where you
blowing your heart rate.
Exactly. And I think that's cool too, because I think obviously like stuff about heart rate and stuff. I'll be playing a video game and I'll be talking to my friend. For example, we playing college football and it'll be like a big play, 4th down. I'll be like, bro, my heart rate is like 85 right now. And then they'd be like, what? And I'll check my watch. I'll be like, yeah, 86. They'd be like, how'd you know that? I'm like, bro, because it's like, at least for me, once I start learning about stuff, I see it everywhere. And that's what I like about what I do now. Like, it's not just like with firefighting, you learn more about like structures of buildings and you learn about where hydrants are. You learn how to attack fires, everything like that. But the actual like medical part of being a firefighter, like an EMT or a paramedic, I'm like fascinated with learning. So learning how the body works and seeing everything. And it's like even a little stressful sometimes being out in like life when you're not working. It's like, man, I hope somebody doesn't do something right now, because obviously you don't have to spring into action, but it's like, who am I if I don't spring into action? I'm always on the clock, not just because I'm clocked in for shit.
Too.
Exactly. So I really like, that's why trying to go back to school and furthermore on that medical part, because it's just like, to me, it's just so cool to actually learn about your body and how it works. Like, cause like you told me,
med school.
No, you sound like my mama now. No, just we can talk all care about some other stuff. I can't let all the people know what I'm doing out here, but just definitely furthering myself in the.
Why I say that, because right now being the medical college of Wisconsin, people are like, "Oh, doctor." I'm like, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
There's so it's better than I do. A lot of us are looking at the emergency personnel as our primary care physician.
Yes.
So that's something that I didn't think about. Just being in this new role, people don't have primary care doctors. So they probably, somebody gonna call you doctor at some point. They call the EMTs doctors.
Yeah, like I don't think a lot of people realize, and I think too, like I just want to say, shout out my parents and my family. I was blessed where I had an actual doctor, but I know people personally where they get a cold, they call 911 or they go to the ER. And it's just like, of course, that's an emergency to someone. But if you have the knowledge, I think a lot of people just don't have the knowledge. And that's why you have people in the ERs and the waiting rooms, and they're like, oh, nobody won't see me. And it's like, I like explained to a couple of my friends, I'm like, there's a triage system. Like, it's like there might be someone in the ER who is literally fighting for their life right now, or they have to have surgery on something, and they looked at you and they saw that you have a cold, right? You have a fever. And obviously, I'm not downplaying any emergencies, because an emergency is emergency to anyone, no matter how it is. But like you said, like just having that knowledge of having a primary care doctor, because sometimes even nowadays with the internet, I can schedule a virtual visit with my doctor, and then they'll be like, oh, if you need this, okay, I'm just gonna write this prescription for you, or do this, and then if you're feeling worse, come in 2 days from now. But if you don't have that resource, or you don't know how to get that resource, how do you get there?
Yeah.
So
anxiety is a real thing, and it ratchets it up. And they go on Google and look up something, and it just
Google will always tell you you're gonna die in 2 days. No matter what.
Anything you look up,
anything you can just sneeze from like some pepper being around you or something. Google will be like, right, you will.
No, I'm glad CJ brought up your Instagram. So in your bio, I see you got stop procrastinating and build mental toughness. What's mental toughness?
Mental toughness is the idea that you have an art and science,
Mhm.
right? So the art is what you learn by experience, and the science is what he just gave us, right? Heart rate variability is a science we can look up. How to get somebody to realize that's kind of an art to it, right? I'll give a little bit, maybe a story about that. But the art and science are helping people overcome mental barriers that hold us back from being successful, especially when times are tough.
Is that, would you say that's synonymous to like mental fortitude, or are those two different things?
Yeah, fortitude, strength. Yeah, I think fortitude is a good word. So mental toughness is the what's that? Like the marketable word. Mental performance is what I call it, but that's kind of a newer phrase. So I'm kind of right back to where I was, I think, as I mentioned, with breathwork and meditation.
Mhm.
And mental toughness and mental performance is kind of catching up really fast in the sports world. But the average person, you play sports. You play any sports?
Yeah.
Did your coaches ever do mental performance coaching with you when you were in sports? Did you have a session for that dedicated to?
Oh no.
Like we, like in football, we had our classic 2-a-days, and then the law happened and we couldn't do 2-a-days anymore, and it turned into all days, which was worse. But it was more just weightlifting, watching film, stuff like that, but not breath work, any of that, nothing like that at all.
So I got 10 pillars, and it's interesting because I can see where it's going to be going now. It's my first time being able to do that, but it seems to be more popular than it actually is because of Instagram. So I work with kids a lot on this, but it's elite mindset. So what do people who do great things do? They have a certain way that they are. And like we can name some people we probably all agree with who have elite mindsets, probably in the sports world, but probably in politics and business. They just have a certain way they do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like an example of that is catch myself from saying I have to do something. I just say I get to do it. And so I would literally have changed that vocabulary. If I were to say I get to. Everybody doesn't get a chance to come do a podcast,
facts.
Or go to work or something like that, or do the dishes. I get to. Number 2 is motivation and your goals, right? So you can't have someone set a goal until they're motivated. What does that look like? Focus and awareness. So that's a part of mindfulness, but isn't exactly mindfulness. So the idea is like, what are you focused on? What are you aware of? That's a big thing that I learned in school called social emotional learning. So you have self-awareness and social awareness. Some people have one or not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is self-control and discipline, which we talk a lot about in sports, like being controlled, being disciplined. But typically that's someone doing it to you. That's supposed to be self-discipline. I didn't really learn that until I got to college, honestly, playing sports. Number 5 is process over outcome. Getting the idea to be able to think like, oh, this is going to happen in the future. I just got to do these steps right ahead. That's probably the hardest thing as a coach, to realize that people come to me with an idea of what they want to do. They don't necessarily want to do the process. They just really want the outcome.
Yeah.
I have to keep them focused on that process. Number 6, something that people try to jump to right away is mindfulness, because that's what I do primarily. But honestly, because of our habits, conditions, and situations, everybody can't do mindfulness.
Yeah.
Ask somebody to close their eyes, right? Sit up straight in their chairs. They don't trust the room. They're not going to close their eyes. Their eyes are closed, and their heart rate's going to be high because now they don't trust the room. That's right. So I have to figure out how to do that with people, the mindfulness piece, which for me is really breathwork and meditation. You have time management and organization, and you have leadership, and you have the right culture. And those things together, those skill sets, just like you play basketball, you have dribbling, you have shooting, you have passing. Those are different skill sets that I think if you put them together, they make a mentally tough person. They make someone that can perform mentally.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you said that too, because I've been telling like a lot of people recently, because even when life is good, life be lifing. Y'all know, you know what I mean? And I just feel like too, the way I describe it is it's almost like I just realized I was saying like mental toughness or fortitude, but basically your outlook on life completely, like I don't want to say it dictates, but it's like the, you know, the classic glass half empty versus glass half full theory. Because it's like you said, I get to do this. For example, I was at Quick Trip one day and this woman asked me, she was like, "How you doing?" I said, "Living the dream." And I always say that's just like a little thing I got from like one of my captains. Like I thought it was funny, so I kind of jacked it. Shout out Cap. I jacked that from you. I'm sorry. But you know, I always say living the dream. And then she was like, "Are you really though?" And I was like, "Well, I'm walking. I can see. I have money to buy what I need at Quick Trip. I have family and friends that love me. I have a car." And then she's like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that." And I was like, "Yeah, like, cause you know, it's just like living in the city, seeing the things that we see, the people that we know. It's just like you said, like you get to do something. Things that are normal to, I don't even want to say the everyday the person. Things are normal to different people are not normal to everyone else. You know what I mean? Like it's just we take a lot of things for granted in this life, and once you actually understand, like everything you do, you get to do it. Like you said, it's almost like a privilege to just do the small things. Then, like I feel like your outlook on life is better because that's like when you take an L, it's like, is this really a L? Because it's like, because like my dad always likes to say, like, there's no like, I forgot exactly what he says. I'm just gonna like gentrify it. He's like, there's like no L's, only lessons.
Yeah.
Like you know, because it's like, yeah, exactly. Because if you actually like, everyone's got to take L at some point. I know when you talking about rap, everybody, oh, undefeated, never lost. Blah, blah. Like, come on, you wouldn't get to where you were without a loss.
For sure.
And I actually appreciate a loss every now and then. Like I'm not saying I want life to wipe me up and down, Fond du Lac, but I'm saying like, you know, when you take an L, sometimes, like I said, you get to appreciate what's good in life, and it helps you think. So if you have that L again, or to not want to take that, you know what I mean? Like it helps you prepare in general. It's like playing a sport. It's like, all right, I just lost to this team. I know what I did to lose. Let's regroup, draw this up on the whiteboard. We're back next game. So
I like that last part. I think that's the hard part teaching is that people talk about it. They don't teach you how to do it. So I played college sports, you know, it was idea. I played DB. So DB, the defensive game, offensive game, I'm playing defense. They're going to get burned. You're going to get a loss. The coach will say, let it go. How?
Yeah, I would say being a DB and a receiver, that's the divas in the league for real. Yeah,
but he was saying it. And one thing is like having a little trick for a kid. You know, for example, like my nephew, we were just swimming yesterday. It was the last day of summer. He likes to go swimming. I hate swimming. I get to go swim with my nephew. Right? He wants to go in the pool and it's cold. I can't swim. I actually literally can't swim. I gotta work on that. And the pool is cold. So he's mad, man. I said we might go back in the pool later. Let's go back, Uncle. I was like, cool, you can go dip your feet in. We're not going in the pool, though. He's upset, cussing me out. He's forward, like no curse words.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's like,
doo-doo head.
Uncle, you said, I go, no, nephew. I said this. But the idea there is, how can I keep myself regulated enough that I can react to him in a way that's actually with dignity? I can say, I'm bigger than you, which I try to do with kids when I was going back in education. It doesn't feel good. It works, but it's not going to work for a long time. So I learned that the hard way. So literally I sat there. He got his point out. We had a conversation. He knows if I put my hand on his chest, he's going to start breathing. He's going to start doing deep breaths. You know, he's 4. He's going to get in a good mood anyways. But I think the biggest thing with the performance I've learned is it's about you controlling what you can control. Not saying he's going to be good because of that, but if you're not in control, it's definitely going to get worse. So I think the biggest lesson that I've learned telling young people about is be at least neutral, right? You don't got to be positive, but if you're negative, you're going to have a really hard time, right? So maybe my life isn't all great. How are you doing? Okay. That's a straight answer. I'm doing okay, right? Then somebody might say, well, you need me. Some might come from that, like a question about support. But if you lie and say things are great and they're not great, I ain't going to ask you too much. So kids tell me I'm doing good. I go, what's good about it? And they go, Oh, things are good. I was good about it.
I'll-
They get stuck because people are so used to being in this little pattern.
That's what I was gonna say about social media. I feel like social media is a great thing when it's used correctly, but I feel a lot of times, especially nowadays, like I thought it was bad when we was like in high school, but it just keeps getting worse. Like people live these personas on social media, and then you see them in real life, and it's like, I know that's not you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, and it can be anything. Is from somebody flashing they have this or that, and then you see them in person, and
the bus.
yeah, or they asking you for $10. It's like, bro, I just saw you with 10 racks on Instagram. Why you need $10? Or even the classic catfishing. No disrespect to ladies out there, but editing pictures and stuff like that. And then I see you outside, and I'm like, I know that's not you. It's just like social media. It's a great tool, but I feel like I think you probably know more about this on the mental health aspect. Oh, yeah. Social media is cooking people's mental health, just even based on some of the things we see on the internet every day. Our minds have become so desensitized to it. You're not supposed to see what you see on the social, like for example, like all the death that's on Twitter. Your brain is not meant to see.
I just heard about that. It's a real thing.
That is like like obviously there's still a lot of things. We're not trying to get political here, obviously, but there's a lot of things going on in Israel and Palestine, right? But when it all first kicked off on Twitter, man, I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be looking for it. I'd open up my feed and you'd see rockets just coming down, like, and it's stuff like that, like every day. And then like you see people sharing it on Facebook, like obviously not like the rockets and stuff like that, but it'll be some like I saw somebody share something the other day, and it was like this thing. I'm trying not to laugh; it's not funny, but it was like this blue like cyber truck, and
he got ran over.
That's
crazy.
Because like
that's crazy,
bro. You made me laugh, bro. I was trying to laugh.
Yeah.
So it was like a blue. I'll show you after this. It was like a blue cyber truck, and it was like, oh, I didn't know it was a blue cyber truck. And you see the cyber truck from afar, and it's this dude. It's like a Lincoln MKX. It didn't hit the guy hard, but the guy got hit by the car and he rolled. But the thing is, like, that's bait. Like, you looking for the blue cyber truck, you see somebody flying across your screen. Our brains aren't meant to see that. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
The thing is, the camera's still focused on the cyber truck. The person got ran over. It's in there. He's like, oh, that happened. Let's focus on the cyber truck.
Yeah,
but go ahead. No, but okay, but you mentioned about like you ask somebody like, how are you? They'd be like, I'm good, or tell me. So is it easy for you to detect somebody that you're coaching or somebody who you ask that are they generally confident versus are they like coping and putting like a mask on? Like, how easy is for you to detect that?
I'm happy you use the word confident. That's one thing that I definitely am wondering about with especially with Black boys, like the ability to put on a confidence face, right? Yeah. So confidence is something that I know I can do this, right? And typically I know I can do it because I have experience doing it, right? And that experience or that skill set gives me confidence that I can do this thing. So in general, I would say I'm pretty naive, right? If you're not someone that I'm coaching, I don't have the permission to check in with you that way. Right? Okay. So if you just walk on the street, somebody says they're good, and I know they're not good based upon maybe their body position. Typically it's body focus, self-talk. You can't see someone's self-talk. You can see their focus or lack of focus. And their body language is a big thing, right? So I had kids tonight and I was talking to, and tell them all the time, I say, I know you don't understand how this works yet because they're young, right? And I understand that you have a habit of doing this, but I can see it on your face. Not even shoulders, not even how they're breathing. I can see it on your face. So, for example, we have class that starts at 6:00. And the kids are there by option. They choose to be there, which says a lot, right? So I don't expect them to be there unless they want to come. If you're going to be here, you're going to be here before 6:00. So we had this big talk. A couple weeks later, tonight comes up, and my phone rings at 6:00. So if you're not in the room, you're late, right? Great. So that's not what they think, right? So the phone rings. I wait 2 minutes, and I close the door. 6:07, kids come in, right? 3 come in late, right? And I say, what's the elephant in the room? They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right? They have
now you're making me feel old.
What I'm talking about, right? So I said, something happened that we should address as a group. I'm talking about stuff. I said, y'all late. All their faces change. It's like, I don't know, y'all late. Like,
Yeah.
come on. So we had a big talk today about time management, which is again is one of those pillars, right? So I asked 4 young people, like, what time do you think is considered late? Do you think they consider 6:01 being late?
No, they on time is technically late.
Yeah.
They said we're only 7 minutes late. Seven minutes late. I go, that's late still. So, anyways, so my whole point of saying that is that once I gave them feedback, I could see their whole body language change. Right, their phones come out, which is not a rule that I have in the room, right? Because they get to be there. You might have somebody that's calling them. They might have to have things to do. Now they're slumped down in their chairs or not making eye contact. So I think that's the biggest thing is that body language. And they're a group of kids, right? So I said, do you guys not like I give you feedback? Again, I talk the same way with everybody. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. Try to be very authentic and very, very consistent. So I'm like, if you know I'm here to help you, you're responding to me giving you feedback like this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine once you do make it to play in college where coaches don't care.
Talk to you however.
You're late. You're not coming in.
Yeah.
You give me a funny face, you're off. Like, so basically,
scholarship pulled.
It's good to correct it right now.
Yeah. So when it comes to young people, it's definitely in the body language. I'm not sure what it is. People tend to open up to me pretty quickly and pretty open. They just open with me. So if I sit with you and I'm going to ask you real questions, it won't be surface level. I can kind of tell.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think it's really important to check in with people, but it's also important for me to realize that I have to get permission to check in too much, right? But if you're not doing well, I definitely do want to see if maybe I can support.
Yeah, I actually think that it was pretty cool that you said the body language part, because you would be surprised how many people don't understand that. Like, I'll be talking to someone and y'all gonna cook me again, but like there's like this girl I always talk to, right? And it's the classic, like I'll be like, what's wrong? What are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I'm looking at your face. I'm looking at her like, what's wrong? Oh, how do you? It's like, dude, and shout out Hitch. Hitch taught me this when I was like 8 years old. Like, at the beginning of Hitch, Will Smith, 85% of communication is nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up. That's actually like a true stat. No one knows the exact number, but it's around. Yeah, it's like depending on the person, it's like 79, 85 or something like that. That's like a real thing, like you said. Facial expressions, the way somebody is standing, it's just, and I think people don't realize that. And it's just because I like to say, like, not in a creepy way, like I people watch. Like I'll go somewhere and y'all know I'm very social, but at the same time, I can just sit back and peep what's going on in the room. Just like the other day, I was at this party and I told my friend, I was like, it's about to happen, and it's been happening for the last 5 minutes. And then, what are you talking about? Boom, it all unfolds. Oh, how'd you know that? I'm like, because I sit and I watch the room. Even when I'm not paying attention, I'm paying attention because I'm just like an observant type of person. And I think to me, it just blows my mind that people don't know, like, they have a stank face on or a RBF when you ask them a question. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you mean? What attitude? You sitting there? Like, you know what I mean?
The worst part is not taking the feedback when someone tells you. Like, someone says your face, oh, if you had a boogie in your nose, someone says you got a boogie in your nose, you should say thank you. Get the boogie out and say thank you and keep it moving. People get mad at you for saying, why you tell me I got a boogie in my nose?
Why you looking at me like that?
Trying to help them?
Why you looking at me like that?
Why is your face so?
Why you in my nose?
Yeah. So it's like, why you like? So yeah, it's a weird thing, but it's definitely a natural reaction for someone that doesn't focus on it. Is when someone says, "What's wrong?" Nothing. Something is wrong. It's figuring out how to be. That's the art part now. How to figure out how to get that out of them, because most people aren't going to tell you unless they're used to doing things like that.
I got another question for you. So both of y'all know I got like big plans for myself and the city per se, but I know you're big on nutrition, right? Mm-hmm. So do you have any ideas on how to like help the food deserts that we have in the city? Like I might just address a food desert real quick for the listeners and watchers who don't know what that is. So basically a food desert it's just like a radius of, let's say, for people who don't live in a food desert, how close is the nearest fresh produce to you, like an actual grocery store, right? Anywhere. Some people it's a minute, some people 5, 10, but in a lot of inner cities. And shout out my dad. He told me this when I was like 9. This was a part of his dissertation. In a lot of like the urban cities in the United States, we have a lot of food deserts where, and everybody like, what do you mean? We got KFC up the street. That's the food desert where all this fast food, and even I'm not even talking about like a gas station that is like a mini mart per se. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, what are your plans to do with that? Because I know it. Obviously, I'm not putting it all on you. I'm not saying Ambrose, you gonna fix
where
the
we live
food
right
desert.
now. It's a struggle, man. It's
Yeah.
like downtown Milwaukee, so living where we live, it's like
Yeah.
ain't no food over there.
Because it's like, to me, it's just like you said, nutrition is a big part, and I don't think like even in the Black community, high blood pressure, gout, diabetes, that's a big thing, and it comes from what we eat. And if it's like, if you don't understand, like, and even too, like you could talk about food prices, because for example, like somebody, even though at the rate the economy is going and stuff, some of the stuff is like the same price at this point. But if you to go make like a meal for like 2 to 3 people, you're gonna spend at least $50, $60 at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you're buying and what you're doing, or if you want leftovers. And then somebody would be like, I'm not gonna catch a bus 20 minutes away to grab all these groceries, and I have my kids with me, when I can go up the street for this and get this value meal and feed everybody for $10.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I was wondering if you been thinking about how to help. I know we have some things over here that are getting better, but I still would like I'd rather see all the fast food joints get turned down, and we either got a lot of funky fresh places like that, or actual grocery stores popping up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that. Like, I'm happy you said that, because again, where we live over there, we have food. We have food near us, but it's not necessarily the healthy option. So I've been going over to Urban Beats in Brown Deer, which is
That's like right down
further.
the street from my gym.
Yeah, but it's like a 14-minute drive, but it's like I have an option. I get to drive over there. I know I have a few of my colleagues who are in food systems, like Danielle Nabik, my colleague Raul Romo. So I'm still learning, right? So I know how to coach nutrition. At the same time, what I've been learning how to do is to be aware of people's environments, again, people's abilities, socioeconomic abilities. But with that said, being a college student who had to maintain weight, I learned how to make food for me and my roommates on a budget. So there is ability to do that. I don't know if I still have that file or not, but I used to actually do what's they call WIC or SNAP. I used to give people a meal plan based upon
How much
being assisted by the government. So again, you had to put some work into it, but rice, beans, protein, you can do it, and it's a challenge, but no different than somebody that's trying to gain weight in general. You got to put a meal plan together. So maybe I'll share that, because something that I have been thinking about is how to get people out of the mindset that it's expensive to eat well, but it's expensive not to eat well. The back end of that is, it's cliche to say, but it's a lot to it. Me right now, me getting a little bit older, I'm like, man, if I'm gaining a little bit of weight and I have a gym in my basement, and I know how to eat well, and I do manage my stress, I can only imagine for the average person.
Exactly.
Right? So I think right now I probably can get a little bit louder, maybe share a little bit more about nutrition. I think start off with the basics, man. Like, you drinking water, and enough water. I've been alcohol, like sober, just to kind of go around with it, every once in a while, probably for the last, 2 months, almost 2 months. And it's like, that's a big deal, right? You see Fridays, people are at the liquor store. We drink, and that's leaching nutrients from your body that you already don't have because you're not eating fresh foods and vegetables. You get no pressure there. We live in Milwaukee, but we overdo it. But just getting people to think about adding some colorful vegetables to your plate. Like, that could be cookouts, that could be when you go to the restaurant. But yes, it's a tough thing, man. I think about even the pick and save on 76 and Good Hope, where it's like, I have a hard time shopping there. They have a hard time keeping certain produce there. Because if you're not buying it, they can't stock it. So I have been wondering, what does the business of food look like? Because I get it, right? At a shoe store, if we buy, Air Force Ones, white, we have to get stacks and stacks of people are going to buy them. You get Air Force Ones black, you got to get a few of them, but you're not getting stacks and stacks. Somebody that comes in, you have Air Force Ones that are black, they can get mad at you because the store over years understands what works, what doesn't work. So when you go to Outpost, for example, in Mequon, they're gonna have fresh berries every time, and I'm gonna pay more for them as opposed to going to Aldi's up the street, which also has fresh vegetables. They're a little bit cheaper, right? But again, I have a car, so I can kind of get around. But last thing I'll say is when I live downtown on purpose, and I have a car. I would go to different shops and get different things. So I think when it comes down to is prioritizing. Right now we have what's that called? Misfits Market. They send you like a curated box. You have the imperfect foods that are cheaper. Basically, you get food right to your doorstep that is fresh and that isn't super expensive. So
is that don't they got like a van that they deliver?
Yeah. So I've been playing around with that lately because so I think there are more options than we believe. I do believe there's a mindset that we are stuck in that is expensive. I'm not saying it doesn't cost something. I think it's going to cost you more time than it does money. So I would say for people who live in a food desert, think about your options that you have to have that food delivered to your door. Because the system isn't going to change for a long time.
Nope, not at all.
I hate to say it, but it's probably the truth.
Anything else?
No, I think that'll be it.
Hey, we appreciate you, man.
You as well, fellas.
Taking time out your busy schedule to come chop it up with us.
Yes.
You got anything you want to plug? Anything to shout out?
No, I'm happy to be here, man. So I want to make sure I support. So this is the Brew City Beats Podcast. How can I support you guys?
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We got an Instagram. We got a YouTube. Before we go off air, I promised PBG that I'd do a little shout out. Let him know we're going to be at Jamfest. He just texted me. He said, hey, bro, don't forget about the shout out. I said, you already know I got you, bro. So I'm logging into the IG right now. I'm going to give you a shout out.
Shout out to him.
Yep. Y'all go check out Jamfest. We going to be at Jamfest September 29th. Let me get the camera rolling. We got Kale here, Brew City Beats.
Yes, sir.
CJ here. We about to be at Jamfest. Oh, my camera switched over late, but we about to be at Jamfest September 29th. Y'all come check us out. You got anything else you want to say, Kale?
Until then, say y'all, thank you.